Good morning. Welcome. My face is shiny again, but that can't be helped really because it's very warm here right now. Well, okay, it's not very warm. It's like in the 70s, but it's humid and it's going to get into the 90s today. So anticipating, ooh, yeah, I'm anticipating that. But welcome to Mornings with Mary Margaret, that's my name, and specifically Magic Mondays. All right, now let's get down to business. It's 20 honey, and down to business. Okay. Sorry, just a lot of detritus here for this desk. Okay, so lots of creatures in this one. There's not a whole lot of creatures that we haven't seen already. We did, however, we got 2 lands. This is an island of water. The other is a shiny swamp. Oh, look at that. Ooh, holographic. That's exciting. Definitely gonna use that. Okay. And the token character we got is a zombie army, like you do. Okay, so let's start with our creatures here. Did I say characters earlier? I think I did. Whatever. We've got Grateful Apparition. Ooh, it's a 1/1 flying. I love 1/1 flyings because they are a pain in the butt for the other person. So this is it's costs 2. You can tell. But whenever it does successfully deal combat damage to a player or a planeswalker, you may proliferate. So choose any number of permanents and/or players, and then give each another counter of each kind they already have. So that's nice. So if you had a proliferate deck, I used to be so good at saying that word. If you had a proliferate deck, then this would be a very good addition, I think. Arlen's Wolf, we've definitely seen this one before. I think we saw it last week. It can't be blocked by creatures with power of 2 or less. Wait, have we seen this one? It can't be blocked by creatures with power of 2 or less. So, power meaning the amount of damage that it does. But what's sort of nice about that is that frequently defenders and wall types will have 0 power. They will have like 0 or maybe 1, but they'll have like 4 or 5 toughness. Yeah. So they're very good defenders. That's why they are called defenders. Arlen's Wolf is good about getting around those so that those cannot stymie your attack. So that's nice. It's a 3/2 and it costs 3. I would say it's a pretty good return on investment there with the not being able to be blocked, especially if you are not able to attack with some of your lower creatures or even some of your like other 3/2 creatures, because they will be blocked, and then you can it's a waste. That could be frustrating. Trusted Pegasus. I am fairly certain yes, I'm almost positive we've seen this one before. It is cost 3. It is a 2/2. And it is flying, and whenever it attacks, it gives another attacking creature flying until the end of the turn. So that's nice. The only problem that I see with this is that there was another card, Pegasus Courser, that is a 2/3, or possibly even a 3/2, that costs 3, that has these exact characteristics. So I can't say that this is super worth it when that card exists. That said, I do love, it also has the same typing, so it's not like if you were trying to build a Pegasus type deck for some reason, if you had cards that synergized with Pegasus's, Pegasus Courser is also Pegasus, so it's a creature. So I don't know. Jury's out on that because I have to go find, I have that card in one of my decks, which is not here. No, that was my other one. I'm using one as a part of my tripod for this computer. So, next one is a Ward Scale Crocodile. It's a cost 5 and it's a 5/3, and it's hexproof. So this creature can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponents control. That's pretty good for because this guy being a 5/3, he's gonna have a pretty big target on attack. So he's basically just straight up got to be killed. He's got to be like attacked. That's actually really nice. I cannot think of a way in which you could force this creature to block, but other than just attacking it with a very big creature that somebody would want to block in order to keep from dying. So in that case, yeah, this is a nice one. This is a good one. Don't tell Ben about it because he's got a green deck. He's got a red-green deck that is currently kicking me butt pretty regularly. Good one. It does cost 5, but for a 5/3 with the hexproof, I'd say more than worth it. Lazotep Behemoth. We have seen this one before too. It is a zombie hippo, which if that's not the most excellent thing you've seen today, you've had a longer day than me. It's a 5/4 and it costs 5. So this was a 5/3 and cost 5. And so it's just a 5/4. Doesn't have this is all flavor text. I know I should be more concerned, Mileva says. But a big blue zombie potamus from beyond the stars? This is what they're invading us with? I do just want to give you another look at that beautiful zombie potamus. It's wonderful. 5/4 for a 5. 5 cost for a 5/4. It is a zombie type, so that's nice if you've got a zombie deck already. Sometimes it'll, like, I don't know. I'm sure that there are things that synergize with the zombie type creatures. I don't know that I've seen a lot of things that synergize obviously with the zombie army, but not so much with the zombie type monster. Teo's Light Shield, we saw this last week. I know because I'm looking at it. It's right over there. This continues to be a meh card for me. It is a cost 3. It is a 0/3. And it allows you to put a +1/+1 counter when it enters the battlefield. You can put a +1/+1 counter on any other target creature you control. But it costs 3 and has no power. This is going to be a loud chair move. Oh, it was louder than I expected. Okay, this is going to be a loud chair move again. Less loud. Nice. This continues to be a lackluster card in my mind. It is an illusion. And that's all I can say about it. Last creature here, I think we saw this one maybe last week as well. Yes, we did. Chain Whip Cyclops. 4/4 for cost 5. And then if you add 4 more mana to it, you can choose a target creature who this turn. So I think I mentioned this last week was the nice thing about that is that if they have a big boy who can take a hit, you can force that card to not block so that you can attack anyway. Ooh, that's nice. It does cost 5, and the rest of these 5 costs have had 5 power, and this only has 4. And that cost of 4 for the special ability, it's obviously a late game creature, and I don't know how I feel about it as a useful late game creature. Yeah, I don't know. 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 All right. Spells. Other than creature spells. We've got an instant. D-Spark. Not all spark. D-Spark. Exile target permanent with converted mana cost of 4 or greater. So this is the kind of thing that you would normally be able to use from Wardsail Crocodile, but you cannot because it is hexproof. So this is the kind of thing. It costs 2. What? It costs 2. That's wild. That costs 1 white and 1 black, so you do have to have both. So exile target permanent with converted mana cost of 4 or greater. This isn't converted mana cost of 5 because it's got the 4 plus the 1, so 5. And a permanent, like we've talked about at length before, is pretty much everything. This doesn't say non-land permanent, so if by some weird chance someone had a land that cost them 4 mana or more, you could exile this too. But creatures are permanents, and planeswalkers are permanents, and enchantments that you lay on the table, that stay on the table, I believe are also permanents. So instants are not permanents, and sorceries are not permanents. So that is the big thing. But this is a pretty good card. I don't believe, at least I don't believe I've seen it before. No, I don't see it. Nope, that's a new one. So that's a good one. A 2 cost for an exile, even with the 4. I mean, the converted mana cost of 4 or greater means that you're only going to be using it on things that are really strong, generally speaking, or at least really pernicious, really annoying, because they may not be strong, but they are hard to get rid of. Because things that cost that much are generally hard to get rid of. So that's huge. And not like a terrible limit on it for it being so cheap, for it costing 2 mana. Those limitations are like, no, doesn't matter. Yeah. Be a worthwhile card to have, I think. Depending, I guess, on the person that you're fighting, because there's a lot of decks that can get away without having very many high mana cost items or permanents at all. And then you've got certain issue. But 4 is low. A lot of things, a lot of regular things cost 4. You get up into like the 3s, the 3 range of like power and toughness, and things start to cost 4. So, and planeswalkers frequently cost 4 or more. Well, now the ones I'm looking at right now are not, but they also slowly kill themselves. So, we've got a sorcery here. Callous Dismissal costs 2. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, and then amass 1. So if someone casts especially an expensive creature that took them some effort to get out, mana-wise, this could be frustrating because they've used up their mana and they can't just do it again. That's what the returning to the hand does. It's not obviously not as good as like destroying it or exiling it or something, but it also gives you the amass. So if you are using a deck of these zombie armies, then this could be good. So Callous Dismissal, cost of a 2 for a sorcery. 2 is a strong word for this one. But blue is the control deck. Most of the well, most of the sorceries and instants that allow you to prevent someone from playing something or cancel someone's spell or in some other way control the way someone else uses the cards. Those are mostly in blue. And they are super powerful, generally speaking. Like this one is just putting something back in your hand, but even that's very frustrating. I'm looking around, like I'm going to find something more obvious, but I mean, like canceling target, that's very frustrating. Cancel target creature spell is a common ability of blue sorceries and instants, and those are very frustrating as an opponent because generally you build your whole turn around, if you're putting something, you've built your whole turn around it in some way. We're planning definitely not to attack with it, but like attack your next turn with it. Sorry, I have like a banana bread crumblies because I made banana bread. It's more like banana mousse, but it still tastes good. So I'm sorry, it's calling me. I don't know that what I was saying was important enough to go on, but basically, they're usually expensive because they're so powerful and so frustrating. So 2 is not, I guess, probably out of the realm of sense making. I don't like it though. I don't know that. I don't like returning permanents to hands. If I had an amass deck and this was the best I could do as far as control, then I would understand. But yeah, I don't know that it's the best option for you. And I haven't seen a lot of blue cards that have the amass sort of MO to them. So I don't know that you would be really looking for a blue color in that deck, but maybe you would. Next instant is Nahiri's Stone Blades. It costs 2. Up to 2 target creatures each get +2/+0 until end of turn. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. Costs 2. +2/+0 until end of turn. This is the nice kind of thing that you would do. You would declare blockers, and then you'd be like, bam, I'm actually going to kill that one. Sorry. That's the thing that I'm very bad at. I generally play the thing because I'm like thinking about it, and then I declare attackers, and they're like, well, then I'm not going to block because that's going to kill me. That's just, I struggle with the order of things. The last one is definitely one we've seen before. It is an instant Crush Dissent. Dissent meaning like I don't agree with you, not dissent meaning like, oh, it's falling. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 2 mana. And then you get to amass 2. So this is another example of a control card. This is cost 4. So this is almost, this is almost the equivalent of like the double value of this card in a lot of ways. So this one costs 2 and this one costs 4. So in that way, this one is half this one. This one only has amass 1 and this one has amass 2. So that's a halvesies. And then this one returns a target creature or target permanent to its owner's hand. And this one cancels target spell. So it's not just permanents. You can play this on instants and sorceries as well, and enchantments. But it's not like you can't cancel any of them. They are able to cancel your cancel for 2 mana, which can still be enough, even if they are able to pay that 2 mana. That could still stop them from being able to do something else. So it's not a useless card, especially if they don't have a lot of mana. You are using up a lot of their mana, or if the thing that they are putting out costs a lot of mana to begin with. They may not be able to afford the 2 mana very easily, or it may completely change what their turn has to be. So these 2 cards, I would say, are on par with each other in terms of how much they cost versus how much value they have. So It's a good example of the controlling aspects of blue. And again, they are both a mass. So that was something that, I'm going to quick look through these blue cards that I have here. These are mostly messengers. Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing some with amass and proliferate. And proliferate would be a good thing to have with an amass deck. Okay. Yeah, so I sort of take back what I said before about whether you'd want to focus on blue with a deck that focuses on the zombie army and the mass. Because I had in part forgotten about proliferate. There's a lot of there's as much proliferate as there is a mass in these, at least in these blue cards that I'm looking at. So I could understand it being useful. Before we go on to our Planeswalker, we've got a legendary artifact, the Bolus's Citadel. Now, I will point out, grammar error, I believe it is a grammar error. They use an apostrophe S when they should have just used an apostrophe. Sorry, that's my dog. That wasn't me. Juno. Just eat his face. He's annoyed at me. How could you be annoyed at you, baby? You are so sweet. So cute. Don't lick that. Don't eat that. No. You can't have that. You wanted to eat my scissors. Oh, I've been very bad. Okay, go get her. Go eat her whole face. Oh, he wants to come up. You want to say hello to the people? Want to say hello to the people? Oh, he wants to say hello to the people. Oh, Juno is so sad. Oh, Juno is so sad. Oh, Juno. Oh, Juno. Such a struggle. Such a struggle. Oh, Phineas, he smells the banana mush. He loves the banana mush. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, the banana mush. Okay. Oh, he's up on the desk. This is the Maginot line. Uh-oh. Hey, you can't have the banana mush. And he slipped out on the cards. I'm sorry, Van. I'm sorry, Van. I'm sorry, Juno. I'm sorry, doggies. Okay, can you give me a second? Go eat your sister. Go eat her whole face. Okay. Legendary artifact. Stop. Go. Go on. No. Go. So you may look at the top card of your library at any time. That's something. This costs 7, by the way. 7? Is that math? 6. Sorry. I'm bad at math. Not bad at math. I'm bad at being able to tell exactly how many skulls there are just by looking at this. You may play the top card of your library. You may play the top card of your library. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its converted mana cost rather than pay its mana cost. Oh, interesting. And then you can tap this to sacrifice 10 non-land permanents, and each opponent loses 10 life. Dang. This seems like an interesting deal. It is sort of sacrifice 10 non-land permanents. So it almost becomes part of the there's like a little mini game that you start there where you are trying to get 10 non-land permanents and your opponent is trying to prevent you from getting 10 non-land permanents or getting rid of this card. And you may look at the top card of your library at any time. If you had a way to gain life to make up for the fact that for paying for spells this way, not a bad idea to have this card, because that could get you far with a little mana. Because 6 is a lot. It's definitely a mid to late game card, which could mean that you already have the 10 non-land permanents. But basically what you do is you would use the 10 non-land permanent sacrifice thing to bring someone down. You wouldn't want to get rid of their first 10 because you'd need the follow-up. But you could get rid of, if they were at 15, you could get them down to 5, which is critical. Or anything lower than that, obviously. You wouldn't want to bring them from 20 to 10, I don't think. Because there's a chance that with the amount of stuff that you sacrificed here, you won't be able to get them lower than 10 very quickly. And they'll be able to sort of you haven't gotten rid of any of their creatures or anything, so they can still attack you, presumably. This is interesting. This is the kind of card where I would have to play it. I would have to have it in a deck to really know how it works and whether it works the way it says it will. Either that or I could give it to my husband. He does that sort of figuring out for me. But anyway, it is a black instant that does, I don't know what this means entirely, but it's got the shiny thing at the bottom, so see the shiny thing? Not every card has that, so that means something. I don't know what precisely, and it probably doesn't mean anything to me personally because I'm not going to try to turn around and sell these cards, but whatever. And then last but not least, our Planeswalker is Narset, Carter of Veils. I think we've seen her before. So she has 5 loyalty and costs 3. So she was one of the ones that I was looking at earlier. And I was like, oh, Planeswalkers usually cost 4, but she costs 3. Her static spell that is just always going on when she's on the battlefield. There's a truck. It's a big truck. Oh, I bet they restarted trash day. We had moved to 1 day of trash a week. Now we're back up to 2, I think. So, but her static spell is each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn. So if you've got an opponent with card draw, the ability to draw cards, like use other cards to draw cards, or that's the biggest thing. Then they can't do that, so that's nice. But it doesn't help you; it just hurts them. And then for -2 loyalty, you can look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them and put them into your hand. Put it into your hand and put the rest at the bottom of your library in a random order. So I'm not thinking that she's very useful. She, honestly, the first thing that comes to mind is she would be one of the good non-land permanents to sacrifice for Bolas' Citadel. I don't know. I just don't think that for a cost 3, it's not terrible. But she's not really doing you any big favors for that. So she's mostly just a mana cost. But that's it. It is helpful to not allow your opponents to draw more than 1 card. But it's sort of hard to draw more than 1 card, generally speaking. So I don't know that you're going to really... you will make it impossible, sure. But you will also... how much of the game will you actually be changing, I guess, is my question. Anyway, I wonder if we've seen her before. Let me see. Ooh, Planeswalkers are sort of stuck under the desk here. Oh, look, Arlen. And then Arlen's wolf. Oh, Narset, not here. No, we do not have her yet, so that's nice. It's a new one, unless Ben has used her somewhere, in which case probably shouldn't be dissing her so bad. Yeah. So that's our booster pack for the day, the week, I suppose. As I expected, I did not make that deck of zombie armies yet. Not for lack of desire. There were several times this week when I thought about it, but I did not do it. How come some of my white cards are over here and some of my white cards are over there? What is the difference between these two sets of white cards? Oh, these are not white cards. That would be that difference. Some of these are black cards. Red cards. What is this? Okay, sorry. I now have to do this. Another Harlan Bolt here, a little breaker. So we've definitely got a dearth of green cards here. Green cards are not as prevalent in these packs. No, actually that's probably not true. Ben has taken a lot of the green cards for his aforementioned red-green deck. Yeah, because there's also some red missing. I don't know that he's taken very many red, but he's probably taken at least a couple. But yeah, so this is, I do still want to build that zombie army deck. And I still probably will. But it may not happen this week. So we'll see you later about it. One thing, Ben especially has taken up playing Magic the Gathering Arena online. So if you have interest in playing Magic with either me or him, hit me up. Because he definitely plays a lot. He plays a lot more than I do, certainly. But it's convenient and it's fun if you've ever played Magic, or if you've never played Magic. It actually has a pretty robust tutorial, so if you've never played Magic before, you should learn quite a bit from playing a tutorial. If you have played Magic before, the tutorial is going to sort of annoy you, but it's not too bad. They try to make it interesting. So, yeah, would recommend. Make good choices, don't do drugs. Happy Monday. Stay safe out there.